Right on, right on. I think it's time to go live. Let's talk about some Kamen Rider then, folks. Hello, one and all. The this is what I'm tentatively calling Right On to delve into something a little different for some superhero goodness. And what better to do it with than like one of the coolest freaking Japanese, one of the coolest superheroes around? This country, the next country, coming out of Japan. We're talking about the Kung Fu Bugman himself, Mr. Kamen Rider. I, of course, am your host, Ironcaster, and I'm not here alone today. In fact, I've got a couple of friends along for the ride. So let's see who's hopping on by, shall we?
I'm late. Go, bike, go. I'm just kidding.
Hey there, TJ. How's it going?
Oh, it's going. It's going.
Oh, dude,
I just screamed, go, bike, go. So I'm chugging right along there.
Well, hey, don't worry. You made it in time. You didn't have to go and like use a crazy power up or anything this time. So, hey,
I didn't have to morph into my Kamen Rider suit, so yay.
No, but you know who did? Mr. Jed.
Hell yeah! 10101010101.
How's it going, Jed?
Oh, it's going good, bro. I rewatched the episodes last night and stuff, so yeah. I'm so happy about this.
It feels good to be talking about something I like, and it's also my own channel, so it is as nice and fun as it is to go talk with everyone else. It's like I need to do something on my own channel for a change, and well, I figure here we are.
Yeah, and you kept nagging me about it, so
look,
we need to go do stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I was telling you to pitch or get off the pot.
He's like, dude, we need to go do some other stuff. We need to go do some stuff. I was like, okay.
Just grab your phone, aim it at your feet, and just start talking if you'd have to.
Yeah, it was like, so we're like, that's the reason why you see me and Iron a lot more now, because he's like, yeah, sure, get off the pot. We need to go do this.
Yeah. Well, looks like we've got a guest. We've got someone in the chat there. We got Vinzinger, aka El Otaku, aka the Weeb Pillar, who says, "So true. Indonesia makes good superheroes like Gundam and Gatokaka." I think I'm not sure. I probably butchered that. So Gatokaka. Wait. Yeah, we'll go with that.
For some reason, they sent me my Super Sentai form, but not my Kamen Rider uniform. Damn it.
No. That's okay. That's okay. We got crossovers.
Oh, that's right. We do. Oh, that's right. That's the one thing I love about this universe is the fact that we do have crossovers. Yeah. Crossovers are cool.
Iron was showing me some of the crossovers, and my jaw just dropped. It
was like 40 plus Sentai teams and about a dozen riders. It's like, what? Whoa.
He's like, dude, you gotta see this. And I was like, what? He's like, watch this. He's like, and I was like, oh, this is better than how the Power Rangers team ups were. And he's like, yeah.
Except it only took them 30. Except it took the Power Rangers 30 years to get an army. It took Kamen Rider 10?
Yeah. So I was just like,
took them 30 years and 30 teams.
Yeah, I know.
But it's crazy going through this stuff and you start kind of taking stock of the powers and the movements. It's like, oh, these Sentai heroes and these Kamen Riders, they kind of have powers that can rival some of the big guys. The Zero One can jump 50 feet in the air. He has after images when he's starting out. It's like, Oh, that's our base. He's only going to get more badass.
Oh yeah, and it's like we don't want to spoil, but as the show goes on, progresses, it gets better. Trust me. Oof. Yeah. It's
But I
kinda,
suppose we should probably...
oh, sorry, I didn't.
No, you go ahead.
It's kind of like, okay, I'm going to make an example. Food Wars. Food Wars was awesome first season, and then they upped the ante in the second season, and then Food Wars 3. But then by the time they got to like the fourth or fifth, it kind of, you know. But yeah, season 1 through 3 to Food Wars, they up the ante every time. So go ahead.
Okay,
Sorry.
So that's one I hasn't been on my list at y'all. So I really don't know much about Food Wars. I hear you talk about it all the time.
Love that so much. Like, one of my sisters got me into that. She's like, "Hey, you need to watch this." I'm like, "Okay." I watched it and I loved it. But you got to watch the uncensored version, not the the good version. Yeah, sorry. Because I think it's on Netflix. They have I'm not sure.
But I guess I'll start by kind of showing off, and we talk about, kind of get into it a little bit. So Kamen Rider Zero One was the first series from the Reiwa era, which is tied to the naming of the calendars in Japanese. I mean, for anyone who's a fan of like Godzilla, they've heard of the Showa era. They've heard Showa, they've heard Heisei, Millennium, etc. These are all just kind of related to like the eras of the emperors. And in 2019, they had a new emperor. This has effectively become like sort of a fresh start on that whole calendar, and so you'll see oftentimes shows even getting kind of split up based on that. Like they'll list, in this case, all of the Showa riders, the Heisei riders. Well, we are now in the Reiwa era, and so 01 is the first of these the first under that.
And I will say I enjoy this immensely. Hugely. You know, in Iron, you know this. When I love something, you hear it in my voice and everything, and you hear me get all excited. So that's
and that's kind of the funny thing. It's like it's one of those kind of base, kind of instinctual things of like once you ask someone about something and they just start going, dude, it's like you don't need to say anymore. I already know you're sold.
Yeah.
Once you start getting down to the guttural excitement.
He showed me this poster right here, and I was like, "Wait a second." He showed me a thing. Then showed me like gifts. He showed me gifts, and I was just like, "Okay, I'm sold. I want to see. Where is this at?" He goes, "It's on Tubi." Yeah. No.
I mean, I can't help it. It's just so good.
Yeah.
I mean, just a little. Let's just like the presentation poster here. Like the first thing is like, it's a bright, vibrant suit. I mean, you've got like some nice neon yellow to it, on neon yellow on black, which is a really good complementary colors, and then you have just that dash of the red for the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
It pops. It pops.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I gotta say it's a good poster for selling people on it.
Well, compared to one suit that comes up later, I like this suit a lot better than one suit that comes up later, and you know which one I'm talking about, Iron. So,
Yeah.
I pretty much the best thing I really do like about Kamen Rider is the themes.
Mm-hmm.
By themes, I mean the themes of each rider is a little bit different. Most of them evolving around some form of animal, insect, or even I think there was one that did an amphibian, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, the animal thing has always been sort of tied into it. I mean, you've gone back, you've watched a little bit of the original series, so you've seen how like straight from the beginning we had like freaking Batman and Spider-Man as like two of the original villains.
Scorpion Man. The Scorpion.
And hey there, Mad Dog. Yeah, we're starting to kind of get into and discussing a little bit of Zero One. I figured it'd be kind of fun to go and talk through a bit of it. So yeah, I guess that probably would be a good place to start then.
It was. I was like, okay, so where do I start? Because I did see the older stuff when I was a kid, like the stuff in the 70s, and then I saw this, and I was like, poof, and it had all the tech and everything, and I was like, oh, love the old stuff, but I love this way better.
Yeah. Tell you what, Mad Dog. Are you on Twitter by chance? Because get a hold of me and I can drop you a link if you want to come by. You can find me on there at the Ironcaster. Here, let me drop that link. Let me drop the handle in the chat. Or what the heck? We'll just. I don't know if I want to drop the StreamYard's link. Well, I'll be on the lookout for you. But anyway. So, yeah. I mean, the suits look good, but what did you guys think about this kind of going into it? Just from the base premise of sort of the technology, the technology and humans working alongside of these androids. There's a bit of a Asimov or the Isaac Asimov stuff is very much sort of
the 3 rules and stuff that, you know. And here's the thing. Here's the scary thing about this is, like, we all know at a certain point AI can become sentient. We all know this. It is a scientific fucking fact. Oh, sorry. It is a scientific fact. I hate these new rules. It is a scientific fact that happens at some point. But you also have things for good and just, you know, also have things for evil. So,
Hello, everybody.
Hey, what's up, Matt?
Oh, I really gotta mention about Kamen Rider Zero One. This basically gives me serious Blade Runner vibes. Like, holy shit! Like, you wouldn't even imagine.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And I have mentioned that Blade Runner is my favorite film of all time, right?
Yeah.
You might have.
Maybe once or twice. Maybe once or twice, you know.
Yeah, I really love the storytelling of Blade Runner quite a lot. Like, the line between man and machine blurring. Yeah, I just get old. Hell, it's
right?
one of the main reasons why I love Nier Automata so much. Because it's a celebration of humanity with machines as the protagonists.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's a good concept to play with. It's especially with kind of going into this new era. You're kind of dealing with the cusp of the next step of the technological advancements, which also kind of delves into a lot of in some ways it lends itself to a lot of concerns, like being about the advancements of technology and replacing jobs. It's got some interesting. It's got some interesting ideas I can play with.
I think that I've seen that particular plot point in an episode of Twilight Zone one time when machines were taking our gerbs.
Wait.
The one.
You need to turn that one up a little bit. That one was a little bit low.
Oh yeah, let's see if I can edit that.
Yeah, you need to edit that to turn it up a little bit later on. We can use that on the other stream, that. On
That's
the
what I'm
audio
doing. I'm
too.
sort of playing this on the fly,
Okay.
But yeah, so here, just to kind of start showing off a little bit of this. We have our human gears, the sort of the sentient robots made in the image of humans.
Pretty much
Who
the
look-
replicants of Kamen Rider Zero One.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta say, I think that the earpieces are a pretty neat little design. It becomes these sort of big, obvious like tell of who's a real human and who's not, and then
Yeah,
of course you could kind of stop and think like, well, could they take that away? Could they do something about that and kind of hide them? Like, it gets into a lot of the Blade Runner sort of thoughts of the whole question of Deckard, for example.
Yeah, is he a replicant or is he a human that just so happened to be too damn good at hunting down replicants?
That's a good question. Personally, for myself on that one, I think it's better leaving it to be vague enough because it winds up just causing it gives us a conversation to have. It's one of those ones I kind of don't want a definitive answer either way.
Yeah, I'm more personally a fan of Deckard as a human because it just kind of undermines Roy Batty's story arc of his own redemption, knowing that he actually saved a human life in his final moments.
And it's, I had something there. Damn it. Go ahead. I feel like Archer right now. I was like, I had something.
So, kind of going over a little bit of this, stepping forward, we're introduced at the start of the show to the owner of the Hedon Enterprises, the CEO who, within the first minute, they tell us has died. So he becomes this. So the fatherly figure of basically all of these robots is now missing, and he's no more. I mean, funny you say this, Vril, because you're gonna see we're gonna kind of get like we're gonna get some guys that kind of look like they would belong there, but that's
yeah, they do.
Yeah, especially
that was my thought throughout the whole. I was like, wait a second, are they doing the Village people? Because like a little later on, you actually kind of see it. Like every now and then, you're like, huh? Are they like doing like? you got the Indian, the firefighter, the cop, I was just like, oh my god.
In case you didn't catch this, Vinzinger says he likes you on the Mr. Anime streams. Matt?
Yeah. Mr. Vinzinger is a cool dude.
I don't know him. I'll have to check him out. So drop me a link. You've got my DM, so you drop me a link later. I'll check the guy out. I might have seen him on something. I've been in so much tokusatsu lately. I haven't popped my head up for too much anime.
No, he hasn't.
If I may suggest a really good anime to watch later, get a Robo Arc, man, just to get the testosterone juices a flowing.
Well, I say I haven't been watching too much of it, but I have actually been watching some other big robot anime. Which, let's see if this clip will play. From one, Go Gaigar.
Dude, Gal Gaigar is the shiznit, dude, and that's coming from the big time Evangelion nerd.
Like it's that one's so good, but that's getting off track.
Yeah. So, what were you saying about this? About do you have the next the next slide right there, Iron.
Oh yeah, we'll just to pull some visuals up for showing things off here. We of course are met with our boy Aruto.
And
Yeah.
he comes out in like the dorkiest outfit when you first see him too. Like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you ain't kidding. I mean, you'd think he'd be a joke character like, oh, let's say Deno, but you begin to feel for him.
yeah, he gets his respect though. Like, come on, like he does. He redeems himself from like the first episode.
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. I mean, you immediately. He immediately grows on you real quick.
Yeah, he does.
He's very much this like he's a guy who wants to follow his dreams, which, I mean, it's kind of an interesting thing considering how we over the course of the episode here we quickly find out that he's the grandson of the president, and yet he's basically just like having to ride this like a bike, trying to struggle to go get jobs. So it's like you kind of it leaves me kind of wondering like what his home life was like.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No,
I was gonna say we kind of get I was about to say we kind of get a little bit into that if you think about it, because all we see for the first 2 episodes is he talks to this one person who happens to be a Humagear that was destroyed in an accident, or what was said to be an accident, could have been an attack, and as the Humagear died because it was too badly damaged, he screamed "Dad."
Mm-hmm.
So it's very possible that he was raised. Yeah, exactly. It's very possible that he was raised by a machine.
But we don't know because you got to watch later on.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
yeah, we don't know yet.
But you know what? Upon him losing power and shutting down, he did tell Aruto to follow his dreams.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he's keeping a promise.
And so Aruto's whole goal in life is he wants to put smiles on people's faces. He wants to make people happy.
That's noble.
Yeah,
That's good. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
You want to put smiles on people's faces. Want to make
how can
happy.
anybody hate someone who just wants to give people smiles?
That like
Unless
they
we're
I mean,
Unless we're talking the Joker kind, like.
Yeah.
You ever wonder how I got these scars? Now this puts a smile on my face. Unfortunately, though, Aruto just isn't a very good comedian.
And he had 2 people in the audience.
Yeah.
But he still tries.
Yeah.
Hey, look at it this way. You may suck it as a comedian, but at least you're not Jimmy Fallon.
Wow. Huge slam right there.
I want to point out when they introduced the next comedian, that bench like flooded quickly.
Yeah. They like when they have that and it goes and he just everybody like scattered like a fart in the wind. Like like they're gone.
Too bad for him though. Like, you know who they did show up for?
Tell us, Iron. What did he show up for?
The freaking Terminator.
I know, right?
That was my first thought when I saw it.
Dude, when I saw that the first time, I was like, dude, he's doing the Terminator pose. Oh my goodness.
I got bravo. I love it.
Yeah, that is such a good callback to the Terminator. Like, goddamn.
Hey Vince, how you doing?
Oh, I love it though.
I mean,
like,
hey Cassie, sorry.
no, you're good. You're good. I'm just like, oh, dude, this is such a great like little thing to throw into the first episode. Just this like one like throwaway character. Well, I say throwaway because the greater series, but
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
we're talking about Mr. Abs Blasting Taro.
Yeah. And if you can't see it, and they show it, okay, when he's up on stage, he flexes his abs so much. This part of him comes off, and it blows the microphone away into the crowd, and people catch pieces of his abs and stuff. So it's hilarious.
Basically, Japanese Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. So
Abs power.
Yeah, so it hit that part blast in the audience, and people grab for this. And like the funny thing,
audience...
they do a callback later on, but it's just like a little, what do they call it? Easter egg where somebody grabs a piece of an ab, and I'm like, oh my god, they're doing it again. Yeah, so.
Yeah, but it's like, holy crap, this guy is great.
Yeah.
Oh wait, this guy is great. Then we immediately cut to Aruto being told he's fired.
Yeah, he's like,
you're fired.
Why can't you do that? I don't need you. I have a human gear that does the job that you can't do. Basically, that's what his boss tells him. You're not funny. You don't put smiles on people's faces. So the human gear puts the smiles on people's faces. Why do I need a human that can't tell jokes when I have a human gear that does? So
yeah, he can just like scan the internet for like the best humor formulas.
Yeah. Next picture, Iron.
Oh yeah. So we then basically cut right to some of our quote unquote and other characters around.
Don't get me started.
Let me refer to my notes real quick. I mean, just like the off center here is June, the vice president of Hedon Enterprises, and he's your typical like corporate suit, like that big chair is mine. I have busted my ass. I have given so much of myself to this company. It is mine by right.
Oh yeah, that kind of asshole.
Yeah, yeah, and he's the kind of corporate asshole that's over at some places that we don't like, that screwed up Star Wars and stuff. So yeah.
Oh God! Don't even fucking remind me.
I'm pretty convinced.
Kathleen Kennedy, you killed Star Wars. Fuck you.
I'm pretty sure that this is the guy that Bob Iger brought in to replace the one on as the head of the board.
Yeah. So.
And fuck you too, Bob Iger.
At least we're 28 minutes in, and they won't, whatever. Read the things.
Yeah. Although a couple of things I thought were kind of funny. I think it was a really good job of showing the sort of mentality of this guy.
Oh yeah, he makes you hate him literally throughout the series. This guy makes you hate him. That's a good actor when they can make you hate him. Make them hate you.
Yeah, that's the mark of really good villain writing 101, and especially when for instance the actor for instance the actor who played Joffrey in Game of Thrones. Like Kid was such a good actor that he basically sold how much of a giant douche
canoe.
Joffrey was.
Yeah.
But I love it here how like after it was like this is the first thing he did after the funeral. He's coming back here to the offices and he's immediately slapping down a big old like oil painting of himself that's bigger than the president's over top of it.
He has to be the most important person there. Oh my god.
Yeah, actually, it's kind of funny how
he was the most punchable face in the known universe.
Yeah, so.
I mean, although I gotta say, I kind of like his. I kind of like how like punchable he makes his face here for this.
He made himself look all
Oh my god!
It made him look instead of like all
Yeah,
the grumpy face he has.
This motherfucker is just selling the smug look. Like, goddamn.
He's selling it right there.
Oh,
Hey, I'm such a nice guy.
Shit. Woo!
It's like, oh my, I gotta give the guy props. He is a great character for this show.
Mhm.
Just because if with him it's like it's business, but it is also personal. But it's mostly business.
Yeah. No, it is. And that's because he, I've done this, the company's mine. Next slide, Iron.
Oh, yep. We also of course have the other little elements of the plot going, the actual like quote unquote A plot.
Oh yeah. The Roy Batty type villains.
Yep. Which is Hirobi. We have Hirobi and Jin. Hirobi is our spiky bandana guy here, who kind of reminds me of Renji from Bleach.
Yeah.
And then the one that scares me is Jin.
Jin?
Yeah, Jin.
I like Jin.
The Assassin's Creed.
Jin's one of my favorites on the show.
The Assassin's Creed guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Jin,
sorry.
Jin,
When
Jin
you
is
see him.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, man.
Oh, no. I was just going to say, Jin reminds me a lot of Assassin's Creed because he has the exact, and I hate to say it, but he does have the exact look for it. So
Yeah, he does. And
but the way he does it though is just so bad. Like I'm trying not to curse here because I don't want to curse, but it's like so epically good. Let's use that word. He just looks like he could kick someone's butt.
yeah, but let's we how am I say this? We know it gets better later on down the line with Gen 2. It's a little teaser for people out there.
So, I mean, this also reminds you of the first episode. So we're getting kind of this. This is the episode that's being used to set up everything for the for the series.
And they did this all in how many minutes is the longest of the episode?
Oh god, it's like a 25 minute episode.
Yeah, I think it's like because I've been watching it on Tubi. I'm going to say this: go to Tubi if you haven't. All this is all free on Tubi. You don't have to sign up for any of it. It is free. Go watch this. You can watch all 52 episodes. It's awesome. But you can come back and watch this with us because too. So this is how I found out about it.
So we're finding out here that these guys are part of some bigger plot going on, where they want to basically eliminate humanity by taking advantage of the human gears that are around. So this is where we get that whole thing of the Asimov, and really I think a lot of people today would probably recognize it in like iRobot. Like, I think that's a really good movie to sort of parallel, just because I think it's much more on the nose for what you see with this series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
I mean, Will Smith fighting robots.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. But this is a realistic, more realistic way, but it is fantasy still, more science fiction. But I like this one way better.
Oh yeah, yeah. I really don't hate iRobot as much as I think. I mean, I like the concept of it.
But yeah,
this is so much better.
Yeah, it is. And what they did in just 30 minutes, they set up the whole series within 30 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Iron, explain what that is.
So, in part of once the president's been passed on, it seems like we have like the satellite in space has a little manufacturing robot arms that are starting to put together something that we'll come to recognize quite a bit. They're in the process of starting to make the belt that we need for Kamen Rider.
Mm-hmm. I gotta say, I love the belts in this one. I absolutely love the belts in this one.
It's something I had to kind of warm up to, because I was like, I don't like this big clunky graphics card, but it's kind of part of the theme and the point of it all, so it makes sense, I think.
Yeah.
That's one hell of a 3D printer that they got there.
Oh,
3D
yes.
printer that materializes material out of nothing.
Oh yeah,
That's
full circle.
Yeah.
how Star Trek got the replicators. That's how we got the replicators.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Pretty
And-
much.
You want to explain who this is, Aaron?
Yeah, and this is our this would be Ys, which is
Isa.
the like
Isa. Yeah.
My next wife. I mean,
Yes.
anyway,
no, this is my next wife. Get your
Well,
own.
she does learn
get your own human
jokes, so you know.
if my girlfriend heard that, she'd be mad at me.
Yeah. No,
Well,
see, you don't need her.
if Sin
I need
heard
an
that,
assistant.
she would just
My
go,
life is a mess.
whatever.
So this is like part of the plans of what had been going on, and so her job is to go and now go get Aruto. So we're finally getting that plot going forward. This is the sort of with that hero's journey visual comparison. This is that call to adventure.
It is the Joseph Campbell. What Joseph Campbell said. He starts the beginning of his hero journey. You know,
And
They-
what a
I
beginning
can't
that
say-
was.
you know. So what did you say?
And what an awesome beginning that was.
Oh, it is, and I gotta say this. Like from the first episode, it had me hooked. I got a hold of Iron after the first episode, and I was just like,
Yeah. Strangely enough, Kamen Rider Zero One was kind of how I immediately got into Kamen Rider, believe it or not.
Well, I hadn't watched Kamen Rider since I was a kid, and this was the first one I've watched since I was a kid. So I hadn't seen all the others, and this was the one that got me back into it. So, and I'm like old, so.
Dude, I'm pushing 40, so yeah,
I'm pushing 50, so.
damn. 10 years older than me?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I was around when the original was around.
You know, you're never too old to really enjoy some heroes,
Yeah, no.
Oh,
especially
hell
ones
yeah.
that have some big beautiful bling like this on their belt.
Mhm.
Oh,
This is awesome.
know-
I love this to death.
You know what I like about Kamen Rider more than Super Sentai is in Super Sentai you're usually fighting extra dimensional or extraterrestrial beings, and this one it's your own government.
Mm-hmm.
It's just another human organization versus another human organization of some kind.
Yeah, it is.
It's- It's just some rogue technology, ultimately.
yeah,
Oh.
so basically a callback to the OG Kamen Rider with Shocker.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that's what they did. What they did is it's a callback to the original because they knew a new era was coming up. So they're like, let's pay tribute to the original. You know, bang up job.
But of course, we can't have an episode without having a monster of the week, without having that twist.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we have Mr. Abtaro.
Jin comes over and goes, "Hey, my friend, I want you to hate the humans." Goes over, puts it right on his chest. He goes, "I will not hate the humans. My job is to make them laugh." And he goes, "I want to make them laugh." And he fights it. And then they have that line, "Connected to the net," you know, and then boom. He's like, "Your
Yeah,
job is now to
I
destroy
really
humanity."
I really gotta feel bad for Abtaro, dude. Like, god damn.
I was like, oh man, he just wants to make people laugh and they're turning him into like, oh dude.
Oh,
I
don't
feel
worry,
bad
guys.
for him.
Don't worry. He'll be back.
Yeah. Oh, I know you will.
I love on how they show the data transmission, how they show the stuff from the machine's point of view.
Yeah, it's all the displays and AI and stuff that you get to see during the shows are so awesome.
You're right.
It's not like it's not like we're with like some of like the Iron Man ripoffs where they're all trying to throw just a ton of like clutter onto like a UI. Like it feels unnecessary for a lot of that.
As cool as the Iron Man suits are in the MCU,
There's
the
too
MCU
much clutter.
itself is just. Ugh.
Yeah, it's too much clutter.
It's a blessing and a curse. Like
Yeah.
it was one of the best things they could have done, but now the success has brought imitators, and everyone just has to like flail around in the air like they're actually like doing important things. It's like, no, nobody would actually make use of this.
Yeah,
Like, we barely like video conferencing, video calls. I'd rather just
that's
like send you a
basically
text.
why nobody's ever gonna accept motion control. Sorry, Nintendo. The Wii was a good concept, but failed, but didn't really stick the landing in execution.
Okay,
So-
next one. Iron.
So we then immediately cut over to the will reading, where Aruto is going to be in part of it because, well, he's the heir.
Mm-hmm.
So of course it makes sense that he would be there.
And then so the guy right there, he's like, "Oh, I can't wait to be president."
He's like, whatever, you could be here. You can be here only as long as up until the moment that they say I can be president, and then I want to throw you out the window, Aruto.
Yeah.
Oh, and only for him to get cock blocked.
Like the most major cock block of all time.
Yeah.
My grandson.
He was never president to begin with.
I know.
But I mean,
you see his face? He looks like he's constipated. Like,
Oh yeah, like holy shit! Like he's really wanting to drop a deuce.
He's got like the worst Mo Howard haircut.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, where the fuck's Larry and Curly?
Yeah.
They didn't make the cut.
What I like is, this was a chance where it's like, oh, here's basically what's going to happen. I was able to foresee it all. That like the freaking iRobot future is going to happen. So we need to make a hero.
So this right here shows into what happened. How do you explain this, Iron?
The iRobot singularity.
Yeah. So there in the letter it says he says to his grandson, he wants you to become president because he sees a day when it's gonna be needed to be somebody to save us, basically, right? Iron,
Yeah. And it's like only the president can be the one who can use the suit.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, kind of like a corporate version of Metal Wolf Chaos.
Yeah.
I mean, I've kind of compared it to like what should have been with like Iron Fist or Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
Like if Danny Rand came back and he was like basically given an Iron Man suit to go and save the day.
I would, it's just, and then the ghost my dream,
He's like, no, I want to go follow my dreams. I want to go make people laugh. I know. Maybe I can go and like try to get that job back at the amusement park where I got fired from. Maybe I can go back there.
And he sees the boss, he goes, and the boss is like, and they do a reminder, you're not funny. I want the gear, and then everybody else, and he's like, he just sits there and he goes, but maybe I can do this. I can make him laugh. Yeah.
By the way, Aruto just tells terrible jokes, and I don't know. I'm not
He
sure.
basically tells dad jokes. He tells
Really bad dad jokes, like
bad dad jokes.
The kind that not even Jimmy Fallon would tell, even on his worst day.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure.
He would.
I'm convinced he was a Jimmy Fallon show writer.
Yeesh.
However,
he got fired and had to come back over to Japan, and then that's the reason why he was over here.
But we've got to keep the plot moving. And in fact, it's perfect. It's the perfect time that he decided to come back here because wouldn't you know, this happens to be right when our monster shows up, and it's like freaking Taro shows up, and he starts vomiting out. He basically vomits out that pipe screensaver from Windows 98.
Yeah,
I was thinking Spiderwire.
And he gets infected with all the malware from the belt when Jin put it right on him. And he has the belt. He goes, must destroy humans. He goes, I won't do it. He goes, no, I want to make them laugh. And he has this. He's fighting back until he sees somebody in the audience. And then he just loses it. And then all of a sudden you see the malware take over and it transforms him into what?
Mantis Man.
Right there. Yeah, Mantis Man.
I'm just going to call him Mantis Man.
Mantis Man. It's true. He's a mantis. But you can see the guy is like, whoa, what happened here? I've never seen this before.
But like, it's great because he's like, he can basically reach out with the tentacles and go and basically, and like they can go and infect other human gears. So
yeah,
they could just turn them into like the grunts that get beaten up in the episode.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's great.
The grunts you get in like,
he goes off.
So.
But I mean, he goes into the crowd and they all start running in terror, and he just picks this kid up, just decks him right in the stomach. It's like,
dude, he picks him up and just wails, just knocks the crap out of him.
Oh crap! He actually did that. Like that kid is gonna be dead.
Yeah, he knocks him and then throws. He busts him right in the abs and then throws him. He just just tosses him.
Oh yeah. This show got dark real quick.
Yo, yeah, it gets. I was like, holy shit, this is awesome.
But and it's like they waste no time at all. It's like, okay, we're now just suddenly into the action. Let's go with this. Oh wait, what's this? We've only got like our one hero here. Okay, not a problem. Let's just suddenly drop in Ames. We need to have our military unit with like the name, the acronym name. It's like, yeah, of course, here's Ames.
My dude right there.
Yeah. Oh God, he
is my favorite.
Oh yeah,
is,
mine
like,
too,
so
man.
favorite.
Like that dude is basically the badass version, the badass to Aruto's.
Yeah, I love Aruto and I love him. They're my two favorites in the show.
So this is, just so I can actually get the name out there. This is This is Fuwa. I lost my notes. Fuwa Isamu.
And the little behind him. Mm-hmm.
And then
yeah,
he is.
I call dibs on her.
Oh, you can have her all you want.
So Fuwa is the captain of Ames, and behind him is Yua Yaibu, who is the engineer who's basically in charge of all their tech. So these two kind of are here to play off of one another as their own sort of like, let's say Punisher and Hardware.
Mm-hmm.
He reminds me of. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I'll just say it's not the perfect analogy for it ultimately, but I think it's good enough.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's at the same time, he's like, this guy is like, I will go hunt human gears for free. You don't even have to pay me. This is like what I live for, is just exterminating them.
He goes, I just want to kill all of them. I want to go down. You don't have to do this. I will do this for you. I got you, bro. Next slide, Iron.
Yeah. Yua, meanwhile, is like, we need to collect data. Guys, give me my data. It's like, I wasn't done talking. Like, no, we're just gonna run and we're just gonna start.
And then he's like, let's screw this. Gets this start. They all start capping. She's over there screaming, guys, let me finish. They're like, hell no, we gotta contain this.
Of course, which is an opportunity for them to kind of like, let's throw them at the grunts. We'll actually have the other suit actors doing some stuff, and like we can make a bunch of explosions and cool stuff going on.
Yeah.
And that's all good and all, but what about Aruto? Where's he at?
Yeah,
Well,
where is he at, Aaron? Please tell us.
well, that's because he's currently trying to strong arm the human gear by himself.
Good luck
Because
with that.
yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
love his. Okay, I'm gonna say this one. I love his shoes throughout the whole series too. He's got neon, and he's got yellow, and he's got like the neon green ones are my favorites.
It's like it's the stylish piece of clothing that like his rider does. It's like he's gonna have bright, obnoxious shoes. I'm all for it.
Oh yeah, I love it. But he's trying to save the guy that told him he wasn't funny because he has a good heart after all. He just wants to make people smile.
His dream was to have a park where people can laugh and smile.
I'll be right back, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay.
And it sort of goes back into that, I think, ultimately where kind of showing like that's sort of one of the bigger themes and elements of this is like, well, we all have our dreams we want to live for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like Aruto's like, my dream is to make people laugh. And he was told like, you better get a better dream, kid.
Yeah, you're not going to be doing this.
Yeah, especially not like this.
Yeah.
However, he has an opportunity to save the day.
And
what good is putting
hand out? He goes, "Did you get the screenshot where he goes, well, if I do this, I can take care of them," where he said that?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I did, however, get the moment where like he puts on the belt and he gets uploaded into like the Matrix.
Oh yeah, well he gets uploaded to the satellite and he finds out how to use the suit right away. She goes, "You will be dead in less than 5 minutes."
But, so off the bat, he's like, okay, now by putting this on, his mind is working at like the speed of a supercomputer now.
Yeah, because he's connected with the satellite now permanently. So
you don't have the same thought process speeding as an AI.
Mm-hmm. And so he learns how to use the suit within that speed automatically. And then, do you got the part where he puts the belt on?
Oh, sorry, it's just kind of going through this in
okay.
Order it is.
Yeah,
we can kind of cut back away from that, and of course we have our favorite rider here, the Wolfman himself.
Okay, so he goes, "Screw this," because he was shooting, and he goes, "So it's finally come to use this. Time to use this." He goes in there and starts pumping them. He's like pumping them left and right, pat, 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 pat.
Oh my god, I love it though. He's like, and then Yua shows up to try to stop him. He's like, "No, I didn't clear you for this."
She's the wet blanket of the series, basically. She's the Karen of the series. Like, I didn't like her from the first episode.
Honestly, I kind of like the relationship between them though. Like, he's the wolf. He is the wolf who's kind of unchained, the wild animal that that if you let it run loose, it would just start biting at everyone around.
And
but no, we can't have that.
Yeah, we can't have that because oh my god, that would be too much. And so next one, you see the face, she's like, "Hmm," and here we go. He's like, "Okay, if I do this, I'll do this," and he goes. Poof. They have this little thing where they click it sometimes and they transform, and then he goes and flips it.
It's like a cassette tape where like the little front half here pops off, like you can kind of see this little bit. And then, like, out of freaking nowhere, like, from the satellite, we got a big, giant, like, grasshopper pop down.
Yeah, that was, like, the first time I saw that, I was like, oh, dude. Oh, D-Boy, what's up, man?
Nope.
I got
yeah.
That was
no, I feel you there, buddy.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't be surprised to see that Shout Factory doesn't put it out on DVD.
Oh, I think they
will. On Blu-ray. I mean, they put out Zero One. I've got the box set of it. So it's only a matter of time, and there'll be a few others that'll probably be wanting to do some other stuff as well.
Well, because Zero One was extremely popular.
I think
So.
Discotech has the rights for Kamen Rider Black, so that'll be coming out here.
Okay, D-Bone.
Yep, no, I feel you.
Thank you for coming over, brother.
How do you like our boy Zero One here, though?
Yeah, he comes down. He just comes out like he's like, rise, do. I'm like, yeah.
You know, I gotta say, as far as those first appearances go, it's a pretty good one because I mean, actually, then again, I kind of don't like it with like the background where like you have this kind of oranges and the black and yellow.
But it was the part. But you know, but
here we go. That's better.
Yeah. But yeah, he starts out and he does his thing. He goes, you know, just talking. He goes, "Yo, I'm gonna get you," and then all of a sudden he's like, I cannot tell you how awesome this show is. You guys have to see the show.
So it's kind of one of those running themes. One of those little running things I kind of like pointing out, just like how powerful he is, like from the get go.
Yeah.
And like with one of his first things, he like inadvertently like winds up jumping like way up top on top of the roller coaster. So
he accidentally does it. He goes, "What? I jumped all the way up here?" And then the guy goes, "What?"
That was actually the best part.
But don't worry, guys. He doesn't only fight barehanded. He's got a briefcase. He's gonna be like the president, and of course he's gonna have a briefcase to fight with.
Yeah, he's got the briefcase, so.
But don't worry. Kamen Rider says stay strapped.
Dun, 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 dun,
it's just a giant switchblade.
The blade comes out from the case. The case turns into a blade, and it's freaking awesome. The first time I saw that, I was like, "Oh my goodness, the case turned into a blade, dude."
Oh, like I said, it does a pretty good job of like just the opening fight where he's like fighting a couple of grunts, so he's not like totally in over his head fighting like 30 guys all at once.
Debug, I want to say this, this Zero One is freaking awesome, bro. It is. I cannot say enough about this iron. Do you have any added?
It is comparable to a lot of the CW shows, and I mean that in a good way.
Yeah,
like the early seasons, like the first season of The Flash. Good.
Yeah, like first season was like where it was like pure comic book until they went to the CW drama,
they had
romantic bullshit.
They had to immediately jump into Flashpoint.
Yeah, and then so.
Yeah, but like I said, it's fairly straightforward. Like I said, it feels like it could be like a touch of what Iron Fist should have been.
Yes, dude. If they would have done Iron Fist like this, I was so the episode that got me so freaking hyped about Iron Fist is when Luke Cage and him got together. That was my favorite. I was like, those are my boys right there. I love Iron Fist and Luke Cage. Power Man. This is a proper name, but everybody calls him Luke Cage.
It has so much potential.
Yeah,
it's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. No. Good.
Yeah.
Like I said, I recommend it. You can check it out on Tubi, so you don't even have to sign up for anything.
Yeah.
You can just watch it.
It's free. They have all the episodes up on Tubi, and it's free. So.
But back into it. Speaking of watching though, it's our favorite. It's our favorite antagonist, Jin.
Jin comes up. He's like, "Lost child announcement." I love how they put that up there at the same time.
Yeah, which feels like it's probably. I started watching the series and then I kind of stopped. I'm like, I want to talk about this with people. Let's go back. Let's kind of get into this.
Yeah, because
I feel like
you saw that you saw I was speeding ahead on it, and I was just like, dude, I was absorbing all of it, and he's like, oh shit, he's going too far into the series.
But I feel like this is something that they're kind of like building up. Like they could be implying something just by just starting off by showing this lost child thing. It's like, meanwhile, this guy he's acting like a child. He's like sitting here on this handrail up above, watching the carnage and the fighting. He's like clapping his hands. He's getting excited. And then one of the transformed Humagears just like climbs up almost in a zombie like fashion with a knife to go after him.
And he pulls out the gun, blows his head off, like, you know.
And he's laughing the whole time, just like
yeah. So he's like, like, you know,
like, oh,
oh, did you just do that? Let me turn my attention toward you now. Like,
so it's like, oh yeah, this guy's gonna be a danger down the road that we're gonna have to deal with. Oh god, there is some just great poses here that I love.
Pose, I love that when they did the explosion. Right there, he's like, 10101.
I love their music in there.
I so wish we could play. I so wish we could play the theme song and show you guys the opening so much, because the opening is awesome.
So then he gets a bunch of like energy like boomerangs thrown at him that he starts like, and a bunch of cars get thrown up in the air as well. He's jumping from car to car.
Yeah,
and
he's
jumps
just...
like it's a little CGI moment. So you can kind of tell it's like, oh, it's a little CGI, but it looks good enough that I give it a pass.
And I was like,
Manta rings.
Yeah, I love this. I love this when he jumped off. He's like, no. You hear the thing, next stop requested. And I was like, dude. I was like, yes.
I mean, it's got some good little jokes in there. Like when he's jumping through the bus, he pushes the little next stop button.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay, that's actually a clever little thing they did there. Just kind of like,
and
kind of build it up.
Throughout all the episodes, I will say they have little jokes like this to keep you in, like, hey, that are ingenious. So,
yeah,
they are so genius and everything else. Next slide, Iron.
Yeah, I mean, he's hitting our corrupted Humagear here hard enough that little explosions are just going off. It's like, so again, like when I say like I'm kind of keeping a little tally of like how strong this character is. And yeah, he's up there. He's to the point where he's like just like a kicking right through his entire like abdomen.
That was a good snapshot you got right there.
Oh yeah, it was.
That one is awesome. He goes. Oh, did you get the part? Oh, you got to talk about this part because they do the words and everything. You got to talk about that one on there.
Oh, like this?
Yeah. Oh, I was hoping you got that. I was like, please get the Rise and Impact shot.
So yeah, that's one of the other little quirks of the show they do, where when they either they power up or you get the finisher like this. We get all of the here I believe it's katakana. We get all the kana just kind of like character by character, like do as it like fills up the screen, and we have that like big action pose. Like these are basically your wallpaper shots.
Yeah,
like the ones you're gonna like right click screenshot just to save.
Yeah, and they do, and I'm going to say this, and I say this because the first time when I started talking to them about it, they do the voices like, Rise and Impact, and it goes, boo, 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 and it goes, and you see the fire and everything, and it comes down, and just, they do this for all the Kamen Riders, too, in the show, and other people. It's just phenomenal.
Thanks, D-Bud. I thought so. The font threw me off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So after that, we kind of, it's like, okay, the day is saved. The villain is defeated. But of course, we have to have our little tease of like what's going to come. We're going to be getting.
I gotta say, during that shot when he comes down with the Rising Impact, they have the theme song for the show going. You hear 0101, and like, dude, it's just like a whole pumped up. You just like, yeah, let's go. Like,
This is how you start a show.
Yeah. Okay. So going back to this, Iron.
Yeah, this is just kind of them building up of like we have our villains we have our mysterious villains looming in the background, and you know that hey, they're going to be around. They're going to make some more monsters for the hero to fight. It's the formula of this sort of show. It's what you expect. It's what you're here for.
Yeah.
Which I'm not complaining. It's just it's the formula. It's one that works. We don't need to change it. Let's go. I want to see what's going to come.
So,
kind of with that, the episode starts to wrap up.
Yeah, and then you get right there.
Exactly.
And then they start doing the credits and everything, and then they have this little thing at the end where he goes, "Oh, I'm so glad you agreed to become the president."
Yeah. So, as he realizes, oh, by taking the belt, I agreed to go ahead and actually be the president of this company. I don't know about this though, but as he's kind of sitting here and questioning the choices, trying to see if there's some way he can't figure his way out of this. There's a little boy talking with the owner of the park, who's and he's talking with him how there was a mysterious man in yellow who came to save us, and this is my chance to go and build a new park for people to laugh and smile. So it's Aruto getting to see that this is a chance to see my dream I wanted, but it's not quite the way I expected.
Yeah, so he got to see all the kids and everybody smile because he saw the mysterious, like Iron said, the mysterious yellow hero protected. And then he goes over. I don't know. Did you get that screenshot where he looks at him? He looks over at him and winks over at him, like because he saw him transform when he was there in the park. So, and then he saw all the smiles on the kids' faces that the park is going to be back and that it's protected now. So, like Iron said, he did it. He got the smiles and everything, and just not in the way he thought he was going to do it. And then he goes in the car with her, and then they go on to the next episode. So,
yeah. But of course, just because I was able to get like this last joke here that I think is probably my favorite part of the whole episode, where we get one of Aruto's jokes. Behold the scene where my name's written on the screen.
Oh, dude, I was laughing about that when I saw that the first time. I was like, they say, "Oh, you gotta tell him the thing he says right after."
Oh, he's like, "That was a joke by Aruto," or something like that. Like he's signing his joke. But of course, so then East gets to be the straight man of the act who explains it. That was a play on the words between screen and scene. It's like, no, you don't explain the joke.
And he's screaming in the car as they drive off. You don't explain the joke. Oh my god! And they end it right there.
Yeah, so that's like I said, that's the first episode. I think it's off to a good start with that first episode. I mean, that's basically the key elements of the episode one.
That first episode took us an hour, so we can do this. Are we going to do the second episode?
Yeah, let's we can do the second episode. Okay. But to kind of wrap up, what did you think about it with episode one? Just kind of, hey, here's something different. Getting into it, what do you think for this first episode? You want to stick around for this hero?
I mean, it's got me wanting to watch more. Simple as that. It's got excellent color. It's got excellent fight scenes. The fight scenes are properly choreographed. It's got some great CGI effects, which I wonder why certain other companies can't do certain things.
Because they don't know how to.
Because I know that certain other companies has the #1 best CGI. software in the world, and these guys don't have it, but yet look what they're able to do.
Yeah, like somebody from over there that doesn't have what Lucasfilm has.
Well,
but
guys, I want to point out that we're not here to focus on that. Let's focus on some good stuff. Let's bring the positivity.
Yeah,
like I was saying, it was the choreograph, it was the CGI, it was everything that it was flashy, very much flashy. There wasn't one thing I could say I didn't really care about, because that would be a lie, because I loved it all.
That first episode, it does a good job of really selling you on it. It's not so out there farcical that you can't believe it, and he has a kind of Clark Kent vibe about him, because he just wants to make people happy.
Yeah, he does. And then the minute he turns into Zero One, you see Superman come out. Yeah,
it's like it's time to get serious.
Yeah,
I was thinking about Billy from the Power Rangers. If Billy was the Red Ranger,
I can agree with that,
because he's kind of got the nerdy look. Like, he's not like let's face it, the person they chose to be a hero, they didn't choose the ideal person. The ideal person would have been Fuwa easily, but they didn't do that, and I like that. Because it's not always going to be the biggest, strongest guys.
Yeah, and I agree with that too. That
I mean, they have excellent. I don't want to use the word diversity, but they do. They have a very diverse context in these shows.
Well, diversity of character.
Mm-hmm.
Well, character archetypes, a person who would choose Brain over Brawn versus Brawn over Brain, or someone who would choose, they would have different characteristics. We always look at, so take us for example. We've been, when it comes to say other shows, they always pick the strongest guy as the leader. Well, why not the smartest? Now, see, Arturo's not necessarily the smartest either, but he tries to be the funniest and the most comical, which would have been equivalent to maybe Zach of the original Power Rangers, someone that's comical. But it's and I compare it to that because I watch a lot of Super Sentai. Kamen Rider is just something new I'm just now getting into, and it's only been a few months, so versus years. So for me to have someone else different in the leadership role, I kind of like that.
I enjoy that too, because I'm mostly the jokester and everything else too. So my jokes bomb.
It's not always the jock that gets the medal.
Yeah,
the jocks don't always get the gold and everything.
So I that's the reason why I kind of got up to him, because he was dude, he's kind of like me. So I was
and unfortunately, I did. Unfortunately, I can't say much more. Because I did move on a little bit, but I can't say much more.
Oh, don't worry about that.
We're not that far yet. Yeah.
Right. I mean, that'll be a time for another day, because I had another thing to go with it. If you look at, take a look at the two main characters that we talked about so far, Fuwa, or whatever his name is.
Yeah, Fuwa.
I like him. Yeah, which we're not even on the second episode yet. We're getting ready to. But as far as the first episode go, you don't have someone you normally see as the main protagonist.
Yeah. Well, that comes up in the second episode.
Yeah. So, do you guys have any last thoughts with episode 1 before we move on?
I think it's excellently made. They're not afraid to show the guys being manly and, just not putting any of that crap out there that we see all the time. It was a good, just have fun episode, You
can't help it.
Oh, dude,
to be fair,
I will call them out on their bullshit all the time, Iron. You know this.
Yeah, I know it. Like I said, to be fair, this was I picked this series because I thought it was a good comparison to make, because this production is 2019. Oh, we just kind of wrapped up episode 1. Just kind of giving some final thoughts, and I was kind of explaining, I thought this was a good series to kind of go into to talk about, because I figured with the 2019 special effects, budget and levels that they're at, it's going to be an easier one for a lot of modern audiences to get into.
Yeah.
Oh, very.
And
I agree with that one because I remember how the original one when I was little, and I was like, I don't know.
well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love a lot of the older stuff. I think
me
that
too.
For current audiences, for most of the people out here that would be inclined to check something like this out, this is gonna be an easier one to sell someone on.
Well,
than
it's kind of like
71.
the argument between Classic Who and New Who too, because a lot of people don't want to go back and watch Classic Who because it's cardboard sets and Daleks are made will get fall apart and blah blah blah, and then you watch New Who and it's more up to date, because there's Capaldi and then there's nobody else, so.
Mhm.
We dare not talk about the last season of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
You mean the Last Doctor?
Oh, I don't know any Last Doctor. The Doctor Who stopped at Capaldi, so.
Like I said, look, that's a whole other thing.
but yeah,
Not what we're here for. I'm trying to stay positive.
I know. We're actually being positive, but we're praising that this show actually put out good stuff that put hope and put heart and put joy and everything in there. That's the reason why I love this. And you saw me. I got hyped on it when I talked to you. And last week you even told me I got a little bit too hyped about it.
Oh yeah, this is basically the Brave Saga.
Yeah.
So,
I got to rein you in. I'm like, whoa, Jed, come on.
He's like, dude, you got too hyped last week.
I'm trying to set something, and you're just like, I'm like, I'm trying to set this up.
Yeah, I've done better this week.
There's a flow to these.
So.
But with that said, Matt, do you have anything you want to say with episode 1?
all I gotta say is, it's gonna be one hell of a ride.
Mm-hmm. You guys are gonna love it.
Well, like I said, I've got it queued up with the thumbnail and that. Let's get into episode 2. I figured we got a lot of the basic stuff sort of established, who Aruto is, and what his mission ultimately winds up being here.
Mm-hmm. I agree with Debug on this. I just want to say this: the writing sucked because the writers screwed him over. He was meant to be the successor to Tom Baker, basically. So,
and they fumbled it real bad and gave us whoever the fuck that was supposed to be.
Yeah, and he was actually pissed about it too. So,
Junkie, you got any last thought?
Not right now. Just waiting for the second show so we can talk about that a little bit.
Okay, cool.
So,
I thought David Tennant was more the Tom Baker type guy.
So the episode kind of starts out with Aruto's first day at the office.
Mm-hmm.
His own anxieties as he's brought in. You know, it's you know, and he's kind of in there like, whoa, this place is big. You know, he's like Jed getting excited over like something new.
He's seen me do that a couple times over the years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dude.
There you go. My favorite part is that the VP is over here just kind of hiding behind his little bush.
Yeah. He's like,
I can't believe this show's here.
It's like me coming in and I was like, hey, did you see that? Oh man, cool, dude, that's awesome. What is that over there? Oh my god, look how high the ceilings are. Like next slide.
Meanwhile, his own his own little AI assistant is just standing up perfectly straight.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny because, like, if you think about it, it's like they can kind of stand there perfectly in a crowd and no one ever notices them. Just being these assistants, like it's almost a camouflage, really, if you think about it.
Yeah,
like it kind of works on its own. No. Oh, all right. Take care, D-Bud. But you know, all right, so Aruto's trying to get in, but unfortunately, he can't get past the little palm security reader. and then he gets stopped by the security guard.
Because he doesn't recognize him at first, and then Isa is the one isn't Isa the one that has to So I watched this late last night when I was tired. So
Okay, I can't. I forgot what his name was here. How it was like. Anyway, he was one of the security guards that worked here
he was guarding to protect to make sure people didn't go into the executive part, basically.
Right, and he's been there long enough that like the former president gave him a name.
Yeah, because one thing, and this just gives a little backstory. His grandfather, if they were there long enough and he liked them enough, he would give them a name to their designation instead of just being like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 or something. His grandfather would give them a name and give them
were people.
Personality. Yeah, gave them real personalities and stuff. So,
in other words, he's basically Dr. Thomas Light.
Yes. Actually, that was a comparison a coworker had brought up that with this series that really worked. I thought is that they kind of are like this. There is a little bit of like a Mega Man thing with this.
What is it? Win the next slide, Iron?
Oh, sorry. Yep. But of course, well, once he's been let pass, he gets to go in and check out his office. And one of the funnier little moments is like where he's nerding out in his office, checking out all the stuff, and he's like rubbing up on the machines. It's like, Aruto, what are you doing?
Basically, doing a me. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Arato is basically me. If you see him do some shit, you would know how to do some shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame you. I mean, if I ever entered into a gunpla store or something more to my liking, like video games, anime, that sort of stuff.
Like if you got to go to Japan, you actually go to the freaking the Gundam statue.
Oh yeah,
dude! I would take a picture there like that.
I thought you said you were gonna take a piss on it and claim it.
Oh fuck that!
No,
you don't piss. You don't piss on the Gundams, man.
It's my Gundam now.
Yeah, you never piss on the crappy Gundam.
Do you guys want to know the most comedic relief with this scene here? It looks like he's trying to slide the door open from left to right when there's a handle that looks like it just swings open.
I know what they do.
Oh, yeah.
He's just looking at it. He's like, wow. Now,
what's in there?
If you saw the one,
this is what 3D printers were like in 2019.
Yeah.
Wow, the technology's really shrunken down since then.
Yeah, they have.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've seen some people make some really good tabletop miniatures from BattleTech using 3D printers. Like, holy shit!
Unfortunately, Aruto doesn't get to really nerd out and kind of enjoy all this moment too long because our boy Fua shows back up.
Oh, I like him so much.
He's like, oh, by the way, surprise! I'm like, we're here to like audit you apparently.
And Karen is right next to him as always, you know.
I'm gonna make sure you come back around on her because like I think she's a good little character in here, but apparently I'm the only one who likes her.
You want to be honest? She's also the one in charge above this guy, but this guy does not care. He does not care a bit because she's even made it a point that she was in charge.
Yeah,
right. She's Iron. Like specifically.
She doesn't help herself later on. Just all I'm saying.
I know. She's a whole. She has a boss above her. I know that much.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think at this point I'm just gonna say, sorry, babe. Yeah, it's just not my type.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, though, Gene shows back up, and he's got to go harass some dock workers. It's like, yeah, let's gotta go grab this guy. We're gonna like convert him.
Randomly. Yeah, there we go.
Let's cause some chaos. Yeah.
Yeah, he has a straight up Joker moment.
I am so can't wait.
Dude, it's so awesome. Like,
I mean, look,
you're gonna love it.
I'm just saying, I've had this expression on my face once or twice when like some order gets screwed up at work and I have to fix it.
Iron's actually done that look to me on stream before when we like when I screwed up. Or when I get like rowdy or some shit, he's like does that look at me. See? I've seen that look a couple times before. He's like,
swear,
chill the hell out.
I swear, I felt the eyes twinge a little red only once or twice because of Jed.
Yeah.
Huh.
We've been through some shit. So
Yeah. So this is where we're really kind of getting a sense of like Fuwa's hatred of human gears. So you're like, what crawled up this guy's butt? Why does he hate them so much?
He's kind of like the Eric Myers in this universe, if you know who I mean.
Oh, from what? True Blood?
No. Eric Myers was a special forces unit made by a corporation to protect the public against things that were outside the local norm. And he eventually became. Hang on, I'm getting there. He eventually became the Quantum Ranger from Time Force. But before that, he was one in SWAT in the like he had the red beret, and he was part of a special SWAT team.
Okay, I'm on board now.
When this guy showed up at around the end of the first episode, and then in this episode, he just reminds me. He's got the attitude of, like you said, what crawled up his butt. He does not care. He's not a nice person. There's nothing nice about Fuwa, but that's also why I like him.
Bad cop type.
Yeah. But speak of things crawling up, we don't. It's very long here at all before we finally get like the dock worker like just walks into the building because apparently he's like ready to go postal.
Mm-hmm.
And then he has this little transformation sequence. He spits out the pipes.
Dude, I love his bat swords. Like
I was about to say that is like
swords were badass that he had.
That's got to be an Easter egg from like the first TV series, because one of the earlier villains of the first one was a bat guy. Bat monster, and it's like, then this guy's a bat. It's like freaking awesome.
I noticed a lot of stuff, and as I've been going through things, I noticed there was a lot of stuff from the early stuff that I used to watch when I was a kid in this first generation of this new era. So they did a lot of things proud to give callbacks to older things. So, which was cool.
It was like the little transformation sequence where he throws his head back, his face rips off, and you just get like the skeleton head. It's like, oh, that's a blink and you miss it horror bit.
Yeah, it's the whole eyes, the whole thing, just and then they go. Like if you do it in
that is some body horror shit, man.
I saw it, and I actually got to a point where I could do it in slow motion. I was going through it in slow motion. I was like, damn, bro. Like,
so I like the suit design. I think that's a good choice in red. I think this one's certainly better than the other suit we get this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is kind of a little basic. They're kind of keeping the ears on, so it's like they basically just put like a fencing helmet over the head and went with it. It works. It's just not my favorite for the look of him. But he's like, oh hey, these wings, yeah, apparently they're boomerangs. So he's like, he starts chucking them, and it's kind of that moment where like we get the great little moment where Fuwa pulls out, and they just kind of drop it on. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, he has a key. Wait, what?
He's like, it won't open, and then My favorite part, because we don't know not to that yet, and she's like, "It won't open without my authorization," and he's like,
What a bitch.
yeah, she's the Karen of the show. I'm telling you, I hate her. She is a backstabbing bitch throughout the whole series. I hate her. She even does it in the first 2 episodes. I'm like, oh.
I think, yep, I'm yeah, I'm ditching this bitch. Pretty face, but Karen personality. I don't do Karens. Sorry.
No, you don't like them? That's unfortunate.
Hell, the only good Karen was from the 8th MS team.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, though, it was just kind of like a brief little moment of like they showed up and then we're chased off. So the company's kind of covering it up, and it's like, oh, it's just a training exercise. Don't worry, everyone. You know, like you lie to the press. Which, after Aruto and them go back up to the office, we finally get a chance to find out like what is exactly up with this particular shaped bug up his butt. As he's like, look, as off in the distance, we see something we didn't quite mention in the first episode, and that was a little town called Daybreak.
Yeah.
See, Daybreak is where some sort of big incident happened that, as we get into his flashback, into his little bit of his backstory, we see that there was some sort of like Humagear uprising, and the iRobot like actually happened.
Yeah, and he was there on that day as a kid.
Yeah, so he got to see the like freaking monkey faced Humagears like basically screaming for his blood.
And so he literally had to fight his way out to get out of there. And that is the reason why.
Yeah, that has got to be some cyberpunk Resident Evil shit.
Yeah, like, dude, he had to fight tooth and claw to get out of there.
And mind you, he did that without any special abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
He's a badass.
Dude, I really would love a survival horror based on that concept. Not gonna lie.
That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, but then, the dumbasses would do it for real. So, yeah.
So I think it's a really good like comparison here, where you have both these guys, where basically the same incident happened to them, but where Aruto is sort of shaped by it to bring hope. Fuwa is basically filled with hatred because of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, can't really blame Fuwa, to be honest.
No.
Like, yeah, you really can't blame him, because he had to survive through one of the most horrific things in his life. Seeing people he knew die, family die,
Friends,
and then
classmates.
and then fight his way out to survive, So
basically what pretty much would have been the Kamen Rider's equivalent to Doomslayer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the relative peace that was here is rather short lived. As like suddenly, oh hey, here's Gene back. He has to suddenly show up and make a new friend. Why? It's our boy Mamoru, the security guard.
Mm-hmm. And Jin comes in and is like, I want to free you, my friend. Comes over there, puts it right on his chest, belt wraps around him. He goes, you're going to be free now. They fight it? He goes, I'm a security guard. I want to protect people. And he goes, no, I want to kill humans. I want to protect people. The back and forth.
Yeah. And which then leads to us finally getting our moment where like we get to see Jin and Aruto like actually getting to like meet face to face here. So there's no like building mystery of like, oh, are they ever gonna actually get to see who each other's? Like, no, we finally get to us off bat. We're just kind of having them like squaring off face to face. The jovial, humorous Aruto is now in serious mode. It's time to fight. I had a whole 5 seconds of training in the internet. I'm ready to do this.
Yeah,
And then
Naruto's badass when he wants to be.
Yeah.
That's what makes him such a cool main character.
no, I agree. I think it's good to be able to see him there to have that comedic element to him where he's not going to sit here and just like mope for the entire time until he's basically forced into having to fight. And I think it's a relief to have instead.
Hmm.
Of course, then again, we finally also get to see Mamoru transform. And like I was saying, I'm not as fond of the suit design here because he goes to like these he's got like the saber-toothed tiger sort of thing going on where he's got like two big horns.
It wasn't really all that great. I was like, the black looked cool, but the color that they had on with the black, I was like, didn't pop out for me, you know.
Or like I mean, look at it. I mean, it's not like you get to look at the face too much on it, but look at it now. It looks kind of derpy. He's like, yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, the rest of the suit is fine. It's just the saber-tooth face is just, whoo!
Like I said, I think it's just kind of like the bit of a. It's not the best design, but the show in the next few episodes, we get some much better stuff coming. So it all works out. You're not always going to have the A rank designs. Of course,
I more put that design in B tier.
Oh, this is like the problem is it's like the face is like really taken away from this one. Like there's so many other things. Like I like the little three metal bands across the chest that remind me of like ribs.
Yeah. The chest plate, it looks that chest plate with the three, what you see there on the very front of the chest where your heart and stuff is, where your main chest plate, that is cool. But the pads are okay, and I like the straps right there. But when you go down, it's that color, that copper. Ugh.
I kind of like the copper though with this. Otherwise, it's like the design of it. It has a bit of like a skeletal look to it. Like you have the two copper bits on the forearms that look like they should be your the bones in the forearm.
Yeah.
So it's like it seems like they did have an interesting design going into it. I thought.
Yeah. Well, they tried. Everything can't be like fucking perfect all the time. So.
But you know who is perfect though? Our boy Flua.
Oh hell yeah! Because what happens?
He just like fucking pimp struts out. He's like, yeah. By the way, I got a belt at some point. Don't worry about it.
I know, right?
I do what I want. I am the law.
Judge Dredd, motherfucker.
I'll do what I want.
I was thinking of Judge Dredd just now. I am the law.
I am the
dude,
law.
he pulls that.
That's what he said, dude. That is some Judge Dredd shit.
The way he pulls it, he pulls it with pure rage and pulls it apart. And he goes, "Fuck you, Karen," and pulls it and then transforms.
I didn't give you authority. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Don't worry.
I gave myself authority.
I'll do what
like
I want.
he's perfect here. Like I kind of want to see his like head covered up and having a Judge Dredd helmet put on him in this pose here.
That would have been
awesome. That dude. Did I mention this dude gives me serious Dirty Harry Callahan vibes?
Yeah, that too.
Oh, I gotta look this actor up after. I want to see what else he's done. But of course, the other part was we didn't really kind of get into really that they were talking about. Aruto is really like leaning into the humanizing of the human gears because he wants to kind of connect between humans and the human gears as sort of this step in advancements of that sort of human of like the evolution of humanity.
because he sees the good things that it can be done on the good part, not the bad shit. He sees that it can help humanity and wants to help them.
So
'Cause-
basically, the whole entire plot theme of the entire Mega Man series, right up to Legends.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like straight up just like the whole Dr. Wily thing. Because while he was raised by a human gear that was his father, who saved him when in the big explosion. It's like you create that with Fua, who saw all his loved ones hurt by human gears, so he carries a big old chip on his shoulder over that.
Mm. And then, like, so he's like, human gears hurt humans.
And all right, so he has his little transformation moment, and it is like the coolest thing ever. Where
And-
he goes and he takes his little blue gun and he shoots out a bullet that flies through the air and around in circles, and it comes flying around back, and he just punches the bullet.
Yeah, he goes, give it a shot, what? And then comes back, bullet punches it, and then his gear comes on, and then it's all fucking woof. And I was like, yeah.
Oh yeah, that is basically one of my favorite Kamen Rider suits.
Yeah.
Right up to this point, like goddamn.
Yeah. I was just like, oh yeah. My two favorite suits are him and Arato's, the like Zero One suit. That suit and Zero One suit. So
he becomes what was his Kamen Rider Vulcan is what he becomes known as.
yeah, but they call him Wolf too. So
Yeah, well, he's got a wolf motif to him, but
Yeah.
they sort of. I mean, we wound up later getting a Valkyrie, but that's not today. Instead, we have Yaya.
yeah,
Yua?
and Karen always doing Karen things. Vocalist.
She's she's off capturing footage and collecting data on it the whole time. Like, he's transformed. I'm sending back data. This would be an opportunity for us to collect it. And so we have these two separate fights going on, kind of one down in like the garage, and we have one up in the one up by a bunch of containers. And so 01 is fighting with the saber-toothed tiger, and he just basically like stabs his little wire fist into a motorcycle and steals it.
Please tell me you got a snap of the bike with him on it. Okay, you got the snaps. Okay.
Yeah, like, you're a Kamen Rider. You should have a motorcycle, because like every Kamen Rider has a motorcycle. But
you're right.
This is the future. We have an app for everything. We have a bike app.
Yeah, and then he's like, starting bike app. Goes up to the satellite.
At first, you're like, okay, so what? Is this phone gonna turn into a bike? It's like, oh, kinda. See, we go and like send a text message up to a space satellite that then drops a freaking giant cell phone down from the sky. That is just straight up like the Rey Skywalker, like floating popsicle bike.
And then it transforms, and I'm like, rise, Hopper! I love
first,
the
I'm like, yeah, we've got to pay the announcer, so we're just gonna like make him like read out all these things.
Dude,
so,
I love all the voices when they do the rise and the hoppers and then the final hits and everything. Dude, I'm just like, with the power you can rise. You cannot block this.
So now we gotta have the motorcycle chase out into the streets, complete with like a kung fu fight on the back of their bikes.
Yeah, it's a sweet thing, dude.
Yeah, I love these Kamen Rider or motorcycle fights. Like, goddamn, like, holy shit.
it's like the whole thing. It's like it gets so cliche, but so awesome enough that it's like, of course we have to have an Akira reference in here.
Yeah, and the minute I saw that, I was like, oh, that's Akira right there. I was like, they have Terminator references, Akira, and they have other stuff in the shows too that they have little Easter eggs for all the time.
And it's like the fight here has apparently lasted so long. It's not like now going into the evening. That's we're like suddenly jumping back and forth between all of them.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well now we've got to take care of one after another. Zero One uses his winds after he's basically told that no, once they're corrupted, it's over. That they're gonna that you basically have to destroy them. Which he eventually does.
Rising case trash.
It's like, well, we can't just do the one pose the entire time. We've got to like go and have a couple of other cool ones in here.
Dude, the Rising Case Slash was just fucking sweet. I loved it. Oh. He's like Rising Case Slash.
Which is great, and it's like, okay, well, there is still sort of that other thing going on. Apparently, this fight's gone on so long that it's now nighttime. So at least they're not like jumping between like afternoon and evening. So at least there was a bit of continuity there of like what the times the light should look like.
And if you notice, and I've said this on the first two episodes, and you see this later on a tiny bit, if you're in a building, they will jump out like they did in Power Rangers and Super Sentai into like a park or something. They go immediately and get transported out into like the open.
It's like, look, we've paid for the park for like 3 weeks. We're gonna film all the footage we need at the park for the next few weeks.
Like I was like, wait a second, weren't they just in the garage and all of a sudden they're out in the open? Where did that happen? Did they teleport?
But dude, how great is it though? Like he's freaking shooting off wolf bullets with like his gun.
Yeah, and I was just like, he's like, dude. Just shooting it out, and he's like, dude, and look at where he like literally crucified him, like, like.
It's like, all right, well, you know what? Every time I just tried to like charge it before you would move. We're not doing that anymore. No, it's time to charge up. We're gonna go ahead and just get this launch off. So I can go ahead and send and do my finisher. Shooting blast.
And
it's like,
and you hear that, and he shoots it off.
Yep, and it's like all the characters like pop up on screen one after another. It's like and it's like he hits him. Yeah, then he goes through that container and the next container and the next container. And oh hey, look, there's a 01.
Yeah, he went through like 3 or 4 containers. And he's like, "What's up, bro?"
Oh, not much. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Yeah. Hang on.
So
all right, yeah. So anyway, and it's like it. So with that, he's like, "Oh, there's a little bit of smoke happens," and he gets away, and then we can kind of like wrap the episode up, as we have what felt really familiar. Like this is very much a that Iron Man-esque moment at the end here, where we suddenly have a press conference where we're gonna have to explain what happened.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm sitting there watching, and I'm like, "Oh, this is gonna be good." Like, what's gonna happen? Is he gonna come out and actually like tell the whole world he's the Kamen Rider? What's gonna happen here?
And most of the time in the episodes, they carry over to the next episode sometimes. So they'll do something at the final seconds and then carry over sometimes.
Yeah, it's that little like sort of like it's that little to be continued sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I gotta tell you, like Aruto walking out to like deal with the mess because he's the president, he looks good to suit.
He was walking like a pimp when he came in. He's like, "What's that?"
Like I was expecting him to like walk past Tony Stark and tell him, "Don't worry, Tony, I'll take it from here."
You've been relieved.
He's like, "I'm now the superhero." But instead, with all the concerns over the human gears turning into the monsters, he's like he's gonna step up and he's gonna take the claim of this all. It's like, well, yeah, guys, he's as like they had videos, so he gets a chance to actually explain it. And he's like, look, here's this Metsubojinrai.net is the organization that's out here doing this, and I'm gonna prove it.
They did show the arc, so we can say a tiny bit about that. There's this arc that you don't know anything. We don't know anything about it yet. They just showed this little where, and it's underneath water where the place was at. So, gotta find out about that.
It's the closest we get to the mystery box of the fabled J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
And I love it, like, as he's sitting here kind of owning up to this and, like, showing up to, like, do something fairly presidential and put all the weight of this on his shoulders. We had the VP off to the side just hating him for it the entire time.
Yeah. The VP looks like he just needs to go to the bathroom again.
He's like, oh, man, these laxatives are really working. I gotta pucker up just a little bit tighter.
Ultimate pucker up. I need to find a bathroom.
Turns out all the bathroom toilets are already in use.
Seeing that dude looking salty like a mofo, like the salt must flew.
The guy behind him, like, oh, and he's like, I gotta go.
But as if this wasn't sort of like bad enough, like Aruto's got to wrap it all up with a joke.
As a president, I'm sure I do fine.
It's my time to shine. As president, I'm sure I'll do fine. As he signs it. And it's like everyone stares at him dumbfounded. No one laughs.
This is the work of a reptile.
Except Fua.
What was that? And he's over there laughing his ass off, and she has the Karen face on.
I thought Fua was about to explode with anger.
No, he was laughing.
Well, yeah, because
and then he gets angry at the end.
Yeah.
Earlier in the episode, when Aruto did the joke in the office, you see the camera pan down to his fist as he's like clenching it really tight and it's shaking. He's doing everything in his effort to hold back the laughter as it's perfect. He's like, he wants to laugh so hard, but he's like,
And you see, she has the total Karen face, like, that wasn't funny.
What? Because it's so out of left field. No one in the room is expecting like this young president to like step up and do jokes, even though many of them recognize him as like the failed comedian.
Yeah, and he's just trying to hold it in so hard. And this was during the ending credits too.
Yeah.
So.
And so with that, our episode ends as Aruto's had his has sort of had his own I am Iron Man moment.
Well, and he had his trial by fire.
And that was episode 2. So yeah, I say the series is off to a good start from this point.
Very off to a good start.
I'm looking forward to talk about some more of this for next week. Because we got so much to look forward to with this. It's
Oh, there is so much good stuff coming up that you guys are just, because me and I'm a little bit past him on this because I binged one night. And
we've gone through about the first 20 episodes or so, and
it's
like I said, it's
go ahead.
I'll say we've got about I got about halfway through the series and said I should probably go and let's actually do something about this. I actually talk about the show. So I'm gonna kind of hold off on going further with that until I catch up, and then I'm gonna go forward.
Yeah, and so I gotta wait too now, and I'm at.
I'm gonna make you play. I'm gonna make you wait.
Yeah, I know, because I ended at there's a part 1 of there's a chapter 1, and then there's a chapter 2 that starts. I don't know if there's a chapter 3, so there is a chapter 1 and a chapter 2, because I just started on chapter 2.
That's down the road. We'll get there.
Yeah.
So you guys have any final thoughts for the episodes?
Once again, that one was just even better than the first one.
Yeah, it gets better, dude.
Yeah, I'm glad, okay. So without taking your word for it at all, like, let's say you did not say that to me, I would say, as of right now, before that, I would say the show's off to a good start. It had a good jump off point. Let's see if it can maintain. Because that's always a lot with TV series is they don't maintain, like they get off to a good jumping point and then they can't maintain the jumping point.
Yeah,
or at least the hype that they had from the first episode. Okay, I will go on a limb here, and since you said it gets better, then I assume they keep flight. So I'm looking forward to seeing more.
That's awesome, dude.
Max, I was gonna go watch some after we end this.
As for myself, I thought probably my favorite part of the episode, the strongest part, was going to be that comparison with like Fua and Aruto, where you kind of get that flip side of the coin to show that the two of them are really, if it wasn't for all of this, they probably would get along so well. The one being the natural comedian, the other one's just going to laugh completely at everything he says. It's like these two are meant to like these two should hang out. They should be in friends.
If you guys think about it, Fuwa is the exact opposite of Aruto, because Aruto is the loving person for human gear, while Fuwa is the exact opposite of that.
Well, he is a loving person for both, for humans and human gears. So,
right, but Fuwa's not. Fuwa's only for people. Like I was just saying, they're good. Like they're good opposites.
Yeah, they are, and I love how they play off one another all the time too. So,
oh yeah,
I cannot say enough about this.
It's a weird thing where like it's that character stuff is what is really the part that has me coming back to it more than the suit fights, which going into it were what I was more excited for. But now I'm like, I care more about the characters more, which is kind of the opposite of what I expected.
Well, the characters are very well developed too.
Yeah, they are.
I'm certainly happy. Matt, do you have anything you want to say?
Yeah. Fua is basically Judge Dredd in Kamen Rider form, and I love it already.
Yeah, I mean, he told us he is the law.
I am the law.
all the human gears, they fought the law. The law won.
The law ain't winning with him. He is the law.
Like he's like the dude is so badass. He punches bullets and gets suits for it.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, basically, that is some ultra kill type shit right there, dude.
I'm all for it. So, I guess to wrap things up, we'll kind of sell yourselves real quick, and then we'll get out of here. Since you came in last, Matt, you want to do yourself the pleasure? Anything you want to say?
Not much for me. Just be excellent to each other and party the fuck on, dudes. And remember, folks, robots can be your friends, but just try not to treat them like shit.
And don't fuck them, because you get your dick cut off. So,
Oh, that's only after the singularity happens and And
Yeah.
the line between man and machine has blurred to the point where robots are indistinguishable from human beings, and basically that's pretty much our way into the next sort of thing.
Jed, what you got coming up?
Oh, what we got? Me and Iron been doing this, and we are gonna. I'm usually over at Matt, but Matt had a family emergency, so I don't know when Matt will be back. I show up basically everywhere, so again, because I'm back to that, and we will be doing a show. I think next Thursday, so we'll have a dual show stream. We'll do this, and then we'll probably be in the morning, and then we'll do this, and we'll do our Kamen Rider show at the same time we did tonight. So if I can get that to go, because I'm trying to set something up. So, but besides that, you see me on Father Christopher when I can make it. You see me over at the MF, or you see me on the Throwdown when I can make it over there. You see me with Iron doing this, and we're going to be doing some other stuff too along the way, and it's just going to be cool. So.
How about you, Tabletop Junkie?
Ooh, well, I got a lot of things.
You got any books coming up you want to talk about?
Oh yeah. Well, let me take a quick gander here. What I got coming up next, because I just wrapped up Call of Cthulhu review. Did a review of Call of Cthulhu by Chaosium Games, the one that uses the percentile dice. I do have a couple other things I'm doing. I'm going to be talking about here in the near. Okay, so the next thing I got coming up, that's not it. All right, so actually, the next thing I got coming up, which won't be before the 23rd, January 23rd, I will start a new review for Talislanta, which is an actual free RPG that's been developed back in the 70s and the 80s. And then it went through like 5 editions, including a D20 edition before the 2000s, and it's been discontinued. So, but there's been a website project that's been restoring it and getting gamers interested in it. Before the 23rd, I do have a couple things coming up. Number one, I do have Castles and Crusades starting tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time.
So, in other words, Castles and Crusades actual play or something?
Yes, where I have players, and we actually play a campaign that I wrote.
Oh, dude,
That's cool.
Yeah.
So
check out my channel.
So, wait, are you the DM?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's cool.
I do.
I just subbed you already, dude. So hey.
Okay. You'll see me. And then I have an announcement on the 16th, 17th. I do a solo play. It's kind of embarrassing to do, but I do it for kids. I do it for something called Tabletop of All Ages. Where I get take some of the kids' favorite things like Pokemon, Digimon, some of the things that are still hot today, and I find TTRPGs and I just solo play them, tell basically a story, maybe do some rolls just to show people how it is, and see if we get kids interested. I have kids myself; they're all in TTRPGs. They play Castles and Crusades. Last week we played Call of Cthulhu and Star Trek Adventures on top of Castles and Crusades. So we actually had a gaming weekend. We played 3 games over the weekend. So there's that on the 17th, and then the 20th, which is next Friday, not tomorrow, but the Friday after next. I have Cyberpunk 2020 actual play, Killer Clowns of Night City.
Dude.
And that is all I have for the next week.
Sweet.
So I took it from Ironcast, one of Ironcaster's favorite movies. At least I think it's his favorite movies, Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
That's
in Night City, there is a gang called there is ones called the Bozos, and they are a very aggressive gang. So I said, well, Killer Clowns of Night City would be interesting for a 2020 campaign. So yes.
Oh, and I forgot. I go hang out with Roman too. Iron knows Roman.
Right.
Yeah, we hang out with Roman too sometimes.
So to make myself last year, I'll be on tomorrow with 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser for the Friday Night Comic Shop Talk, where we are delving into the Infinity Gauntlet. issue 2. And then Saturday, I'll be on with T-Shirt Historian, where we'll be talking about more of Wizards of the Coast, because when do they not make the news?
Yeah.
Especially in this day and age.
Yeah.
Hashtag fuck the WotC.
Yeah. Oh, and I also show up with Nick on Nick's with Iron and Pablo and them sometimes too. So.
And I might be on the Saturday night We Can Geek with T-shirt because I go on there too as well.
Okay.
Not every Saturday, because some Saturdays I have to do other things, but this is kind of a big deal. You know, it's kind of like what I was kind of saying in the beginning. There's just too much going on in the tabletop community.
Yeah, and especially with them like
we'll
around.
save a lot of that for those streams.
Because we're kind of like more positive.
Yeah,
I mean, I've already said my piece
let's
on
try
the matter.
let's try not to date it to the current stuff going on there too much.
Yeah.
But until next time, guys, I'll go ahead and update the description with links for these guys. So check them out on the Twitters, the YouTubes, wherever they may be.
Yeah,
Check
I have mine. I have my Twitter right there on my thing, right, so you can see it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, the at Jet Ravenwolf. So
I don't know. You gotta get me on here more often, Iron, because I just went up from like 70 subs to 73 just in the last 2 hours. So I need to get more.
Thanks, Vince.
Yep. Thanks, Vince.
Appreciate it, man.
And
yes, thank you.
Oh, let's see. What are we gonna? I know. Since we're talking about robots today, let's send us out with this.